Okay. So for that, there are two terminologies that which we'll talk about. One is the confidence level and another is the confidence interval. Have we ever heard of this in the past? Has anybody got an idea between confidence
Yes.
level and confidence interval?
Yes.
So generally,
Yeah.
so in case of when we are doing sampling and we have the data of population, we know the population mean, that for population, for a given population, this is the mean. Then we take out the sample from the population. So we check whether that mean of the sample is falling within a range of the mean of the population sample. So suppose that population sample is 50, population mean is 50, and we are saying a confidence interval of 10%. So we will accept mean of sample plus minus 10% of the population mean. So if it is 50, then plus the 10% would be 55, and minus 10% would be 40, say 45. So we will accept in the range of 45 to 55.
And what is confidence level?
That is 100 minus the confidence interval you want. If you are targeting.
Actually,
Please.
confidence level is something like how confident you are that the data from the sample is representative of the actual population. So if I say I'm 95% confident, that means that I'm 95% confident that the sample is representative of the whole population.
Okay.
Simar, just a question here. The confidence interval, is it also called a proportion defective?
Confidence interval is also called the margin of error as well. Yeah, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah,
That
it's
yeah.
a term which is called a proportion defective that we normally use.
Okay. Proportional defective.
Yeah. So it's actually, if you don't have historical data, you go with a 50% proportion defective. And if you actually have historical data, then you take the actual defect rate.
Okay. Great. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you. So let me explain it to everyone, the difference between confidence level and confidence interval, and how these two terminologies help me to arrive to a right sample size which I should be taking into consideration. Because if I have 1,000 population, I cannot assume that how much sample size should I take. There is a formula, there is a technique, there is a tool which would help us to calculate that how much sample size I'll have to take, which would be able to represent my population. So that is what we are doing this for, to calculate the right sample size on which we will be able to do the analysis. Because as you all agree that doing the analysis on the entire population sometimes is not very viable because of some factors. So that's why we are doing this. So let's talk about confidence level and confidence interval first. And I think all of you have summarized it well. Confidence level basically talks about how much confident, how much accurate I am towards the data that I've taken against the sample. Okay. So for example, if my population mean, we'll take an example of anything. So let's take an example that if my population mean of the cycle time, okay, is 300 minutes. Okay. Now I cannot do the analysis of entire stuff. I can do the sampling. I can do only sampling. Now I want to be very, very closer to 300, because I'll just use the Excel to make you understand so that you can see what I'm saying also.